Hello, this is Kelso with the Grim Reapers. Today is November 2nd, 2022, and I've just completed an interview with 4 members of our Grim Reaper competitive team. The team regularly competes against other teams across the globe in pilot versus pilot air combat competitions. There are several PvP groups, and GRC competes in one of the largest organized groups called SATAL, short for Squadron Air-to-Air League. Like many of the groups, there are different divisions and levels teams can compete in. This summer, GRC became the 6 versus 6 SATAL Gold League champions. If you get a chance to watch the final, it was truly exciting. I'll leave a link below. The reason for the interview was to ask questions about the new Winwing MFSSB force sensing joystick base. For disclosure, Winwing started sponsoring GRC in May of 2021. 3 of the core group received full Orion 1 F-18 stick and throttle kits. They included Bear, the group's leader, Penguin, and Signori. Several weeks ago, those 3 received replacement Orion 2 F-16 stick and throttle kits, including the force-sensing MFSSB stick base. A 4th member, Coyote 1, obtained a similar kit on his own and is included in the interview. I've received a review kit and installed it a couple of days ago. Our review team member, Skill, has yet to receive his. I had planned on adding the GRC interview at the end of the review, but there was so much content I felt it deserved its own video. So here goes. I have a handful of questions for the guys. First of all, congratulations on your championship win, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Now, you're currently flying the F-16s, even though you fly other aircraft. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah, indeed. F-16's our main choice. We've got F-18s and others too.
My first question is install and setup. Bear, do you have any comments with regards to how easy it was to get started?
I come from an electronic background, so it was a piece of cake. I would say that you do need to follow the manual, which is downloadable from the website to install things and just to get it into place, but no issues on my side.
Okay, Penguin, how about you?
Yeah, the install was reasonably easy. It's a very, very simple install and setup.
Great. Signori?
The setup that I had to do, it was very easy, dead easy. Anybody could do it. Plug and play, essentially.
Good. Coyote?
Yeah, I agree. Mine came with the MFSSB pre-installed in the base. Make sure you guys download the content in the instruction manual from the website. It's a very simple process. Pictures, walk you right through everything. Shouldn't be an issue. It took minutes before I was software ready and tuning.
Correct. Okay. Question 2. Initial feelings. Bear.
The force sensing feedback is phenomenal. It brings on a level of immersion that adds to especially the VR experience that I have. It's very different, that's for sure, but incredible. Really, really nice.
Great. Penguin. Initial feelings?
Well, initially it's weird. It's something new that you're not used to. So for me, it was it was a very big learning curve to try and get used to it. The tuning you need to do to it is completely it's individual, how you want it to feel, how you want it set up. But once you get it into that sweet spot and where you want it, it's phenomenal. Sorry about that.
That's okay. Signori. Initial feelings.
I would agree with what Penguin said, definitely, and with what Bear said about it being immersive. That's like the one thing I noticed immediately was just how much more, I just felt like I was, in an F-16 almost, as weird as that sounds, I guess, without, feeling G's or anything like that, of course. But I was really impressed too. You get it, it's out of the box and it's set to 6 kilograms for its full throw. And that is like an incredible amount of force. So I'm like sitting there pulling. And I think just the amount of weight also adds to that level of immersion. You feel like you're in command of some like heavy equipment here. It's quite nice, the feeling.
Cool. Coyote, initial feelings?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I would pretty much almost exactly everybody else has said so far. I sat down and I was amazed at how I'm pulling this thing away from my desk with the desk coming with me. With how much force was involved in pulling this thing. So I had to. I was pulling and I'm like, is there still more left? And surprisingly, there was quite a bit poundage left in there. So I had to go in and kind of tune that down a little bit. But it's crazy after having I've been side stick my entirety of flying DCS for almost 10 years now. I've never had a center stick, and I've always had side stick with no extension. And just getting used to that, you're so used to having, a lot of throw in a joystick, and then moving your hand to this where it's basically stationary, and just how much you squeeze is how much it gives. And it was quite the adjustment, but a really good adjustment. And I was also blown away at how sensitive it was. I'm watching the tuning software go, and I'm just the amount of sensitivity and nice fine movements was incredible. So I was blown away out of the box.
Fantastic. Okay, question 3, guys. How long did it take for you to get used to it, Bear?
It's certainly not pick up and go. There are significant changes that you have to unlearn and relearn type thing, switching between the old muscle memory and the new muscle memory. With commitment, it's not massively long, no more than, for basic maneuvers, easily in the first day, no problems. For more intricate maneuvers, will take a little bit more time.
Okay, just so that we can have a yardstick, can you guess how many hours till you got at least comfortable with it?
Hours, I'm gonna say 3 days, I guess. But remember,
Okay.
we fly a lot.
Yeah, okay. All right. Penguin, how long did it take for you to get used to it?
Honestly, I'd say somewhere in around what Bear's saying, about 3 days. It all comes down to how you set it up and how quickly you get to that setup that you want it to be at. It's I'd say it compares to like having your standard family car that you go and hop in and drive off. Everything's there, you find whatever, like your standard sticks. But then it's like comparing that to a race car. You can't just get in a race car and go driving straight away. You have to fine tune it, get the setup right to where it suits you or the driver, or whatever. But it's like that.
Excellent.
Once you get it dialed in, it is just amazing.
Great. Signori, how long did it take for you to get used to it?
Yeah, so I would say I'm still getting used to it. So I have probably maybe between 10 and 15 hours on it, and the whole sensation of not having all that throw is really, it's interesting. It's good though. It's definitely good because the amount of adjustability you have in the actual software. I mean, you can go from 1 pound or very small amount to all the way up to 6 kilograms and anywhere in between, and you can really dial it in. I'm still deciding how I want it set up. But,
Still doing some fine tuning.
Mm-hmm.
Coyote, how long did it take for you to get used to it?
Still going. Not gonna lie, sugarcoat it. I am still very much getting used to this. Simply because I'm the kind of player who, if I ever got a new stick, I would spend lots of time in the software before I even go fly. And then on top of that, I have years of muscle memory, and I've had my curves the exact same in DCS for all this time, and I know exactly where to pull to get that right corner speed, where to hold my speed in dogfight, fine-tuning those gun solutions, right? I mean, this is going to take me a little while longer. I've got a really good overall control of the aircraft now, but to really dial in what I feel and what I think should be when I'm pointing the nose down to get a gun solution, that's still going to take some time, and I am going back and forth.
Yeah.
Getting better every time, but I like that this is possible because there is no one size fits all when it comes to high-end hardware like this.
Yeah.
So as long as you're willing to put the time in and really just tune this in, this is not something that you should expect to be able to plug and play in regards to tuning it to how you like. As everybody else has mentioned already, everybody can tune theirs exactly how they want it, and I have not found a restriction or anything like that that would tell me that I can't do what I'm hoping it can do. It's just going to take some back and forth. Fly a couple dogfights. That felt good. I got some room. Let's try this. Fly another couple dogfights. That felt better. A couple more dogfights here and there. But I'm still kind of tuning back and forth, going between the app and the game.
Understand.
In a good way.
Fantastic. Okay. Question 4. My initial acid test is to jump on, go right to the tanker, and try and refuel with no curves, nothing. And I know you guys are all past that, but let me ask you, how long did it take you to air refuel with it, Bear?
So, to be honest, I have struggled with the air-to-air refueling, but I have not put a major amount of time into it. I do believe that combat is more important for me, and my setups for combat is working really, really nicely. It's that setup is not dialed in enough for the refueling. So, although all 4 of us did some refueling on Thursday night,
Oh, great.
mine was the least successful. Whereby in the past I had no major issues,
Yeah.
but some more time, and give me 3 days, and I'll have no problems, no disconnects.
Great. Penguin, same question.
I'd follow on from what Bear said, is because you haven't got the same amount of throw as you would on a conventional stick. Initially you get like this twitchiness because you haven't got that long range throw that you normally would have. But I'd say if you just throw some curves on it, something like that, I prefer like a more twitchy jet anyway, especially in like the F-16 for air-to-air stuff like that. But obviously, if you're doing air-to-air refuel, you want something a bit more relaxed, a bit smoother on the stick, something like that. But my initial go was pretty decent. Managed to hook up and stayed connected only had one disconnect, so pretty solid for a first time.
Great. Signori, air-to-air refueling.
My very first time. It went more like Bears. I'm just not used to, I think, the overall sensation yet, and I tend to overcorrect and put in too large of movements. And I think that could be fixed if I probably went into my settings and added more weight to my settings, my force.
Great. Okay, Coyote.
This is not something you're going to be able to open the box, plug in, and go refuel. It's just
right.
You're going to take some time, and I think we hooked up a bunch of times the other day. I've found the settings that I think where I'm going to keep them, and I was able to hook up, and I only had one disconnect from a couple thousand pounds. There's a weird area, and you got to learn. You have to learn to not jerk the throttle around so much like you're used to. Just kind of learn how to finesse it more. More fly with the fingertips than with your whole wrist, right?
Right.
I enjoyed it. I think that the more I fine-tune the stick to what I like, the better I'm going to get. I found flying in formation in general was fantastic, especially paired with the new throttle and all that throw. I mean, just the pair between the throttle and the stick really just makes everything so much easier in the F-16, and it makes the F-16 flight model shine.
Okay, last question, gentlemen. Given the short travel of the MFSSB, did your perceived reaction times change? Bear.
The jet goes where I want it to go and how I want it to go, especially in turns. And it's everything I wanted and more. The expectation was exceeded by a mile.
Great. Penguin?
I'd say in terms of like maneuverability, there's a big, especially for like snap rolls and things like that. It's a lot quicker to do those snap rolls because you haven't got that travel. You've only got that little bit of movement, which allows you to get that much greater range, but quicker. Yeah, I'd say overall it's just a general improvement for me from what I previously had.
Great. Signori?
It's really impressive. I've gone back to my old stick to try it out to compare, right, just to see. And it's almost like you don't notice how different the new thing is in a good way to your old stick until you go back and try it. And it's crazy. The amount of precision that you have, it feels more snappy, as Penguin was saying. You don't have to like travel to roll from one side to the other. It's just there. And it's just how much, if you want to be aggressive, you just put more force, like more aggression into your move, and then you'll roll more. And that's all there is to it. So it's real natural.
Thank you, Signori. Coyote?
Reaction time, I found I was overreacting a lot in the beginning. Obviously, because you're so used to moving your arm more. When I got it dialed in, I went up in an empty F-16, did some 8-point rolls. And as Penguin was saying, I mean, this stick really complements the flight model of at least the DCS F-16. I mean, it's just, I can do an 8-point roll with minimal effort, no more overcorrecting, no more having to roll left and then roll back to the right to stop your jet all the way, then center your stick, right? It's just, because it makes that travel distance so much faster, you can just roll, stop, and it just pinpoints on the dime every time. The snappiness is amazing. I love it.
Fantastic. Okay. Gentlemen, thank you very much for your time.
Absolutely, Kelso. Appreciate having Winwing with us. It was great to have you guys with us the whole year. It was a hell of a battle.
Thanks to Winwing.
We hope we've answered some of the viewer questions on the MFSSB. Skill and I are working on the MFSSB review. I'll bet it will be from our lesser mortal perspective. We've also just received the Top Gun and Phoenix MIP's review kits. We will provide 2D screen and skills VR perspective for those kits as well. Thank you for watching, folks.